Hello, everybody out there on the internet, and welcome to another exciting episode of Hero Complex on the Dungeon Dwellers channel. We appreciate you waiting. We were having some minor camera issues that have been resolved, but we've got everybody here tonight. Regrettably, our guest Jeremy wasn't able to make it into his schedule this time, but no hard feelings, buddy. We hope to see you again someday. And hey, here's hoping your guest character doesn't die. So, just a couple of quick notes to cover before we get started. Shout out to Gamers for Giving for having a great fundraiser. Sarah, you want to tell us a little bit about how we did? Oh, and we had a And speaking as someone who had to use one of those carts back when all there was Nintendo Entertainment Systems and Ataris, I have to say it still made my weeks in the hospital completely bearable as a small child, and I'm very glad to say that we were able to contribute to more of those carts being out there in the world with much cooler technology these days, which is so cool. So, apart from that, remember to check out Sanguine Isles on Wednesday nights if you're interested in a little more improv game rather than one that's a pre-gen. Um, Big Damn Heroes coming this Sunday, and we left on quite the cliffhanger, so please join us that night. And of course, next Monday is Knights of Dice, same time slot. Um, I don't really have any other stream announcements. Does anyone else have anything at the moment? All right. Well, a quick recap, since it's been a little while since we got together last. First, just to apologize for our last miss. There were any number of personal overlaps that happened in real life, and we know you all understand. But we're back to deliver you all of this exciting content, and hopefully you can all hear us well out there. Um, I suppose if someone's got chat open, they can tell me whether or not everybody can hear us. Um, when we last left everything, the caravan that our intrepid party had been traveling with as guards had been brought low by poison. After a cart had tipped over, supposedly belonging to some of the cultists who were smuggling some of their ill-gotten gains as part of the same trade caravan the party joined to keep track of this treasure and find out where it was going on behalf of the Harpers. The poison was then applied to guards who had seen or questioned too much, including also some of the other members of the caravan, including the caravan master himself. One of their party was laid low by this poison, and while he did survive thanks to the quick ministrations of um, both Elliot, Morrook, and Valara, he is Jarell is unfortunately still recovering and too weak to continue for the time being. Um, Several other guards were brought low by this, and one of them was a recent acquaintance of Sir Arix. There we go. His character's in Fantasy Grounds now. Good to see. In an effort to determine the source of the poison, the party began to investigate several of the different wagons, and upon finding one that seemed suspicious enough and held some cloaked shapes who were discussing everything that was happening in voices too low to be overheard, Morrook, wild shaping into a smaller creature, crept inside, rummaged through several of the packages, and found a small empty vial. In taking it out and testing it, she inadvertently exposed herself to some of the poison. And that was where we left everything. Dun dun dun. Mm-hmm. Correct. You did, but before you could share that information, you were about to be told to make a constitution check. Save, rather. A constitution save. Tonight is going to start well for the players, I see. Yeah. Hey, better get them out of the way early when it's life or death, right? Morok's a big girl, it's true. Um, Morok, as you feel this foreign substance begin to numb your skin and travel through your bloodstream, somehow passing straight through you, your combined Orcish and Elven heritage allows you to sort of shrug it off. And while your hand and arm feel quite numb for a few moments, you still have full function in them. All right. Having just broken away from to the edge of the circle of wagons that is currently keeping watch around, um, you get a vague sense of it off to the west of the path that you're on, which follows the path but bends more into the woods. You can't get much more than that. It doesn't seem to be just quite inside the range of your spell. It when you first sensed it. It was just on the edge. Okay. Um, let's see. The only two of you who are together right now is Morrook and Elliot. Is that right? Okay. Yeah, Valara. I think if I'm remembering correctly, Valara was with Arik, and the two of you were tending to Jarell and the other guardswoman who had fallen victim to the poison, as she had it had happened so close to your wagon that it was easier to drag her to your wagon rather than taking her to a different one. So, moving along, as you creep through the dark, go ahead and give me a. Let's see, you do have dark vision, so this shouldn't be that difficult for you. Go ahead and make a survival check for me, please. Okay. As you push through the brush, the rain has obscured a lot, but there are bits of mud that are deeper than others, and they do appear to show not just wagon runnels, but also some prints. You can discern some directionality. It looks as though someone has been walking inside the wagon runnel in order to get away. You also pick up what looks like hooves. This is following a trail away from the camp itself. You're following the wagon road through the dark, and with the recent rain, the mud has pooled inside things. It's difficult to follow, but your check was high enough that you're able to pick out the occasional boot print, fresh along the edges of it, as well as hoof prints. There is a muddy monster following alongside you that looks like it's Elliot shaped. It's true, because now you look like you're made of mud on one side. Yeah, for completely for camouflage purposes, of course. Okay. Um, Reaper sort of walks up to you and uh, bats at some of the mud on you, and there's a faint blue shine in the eyes of Reaper as he looks up at you. Um, well, as he looks up at Elliot. Elliot, what are you going to tell Reaper slash Spirit Buddy to relay to the others? Yeah. Your spirit friend flows out in a swirl of barely visible campfire sparks into the amulet. Make a perception check. You definitely notice there's a little wisp of what looks like maybe blue smoke, some kind of sparkle of magical energy. Okay. Um, so Reaper is just okay. Reaper gi- Reaper gives you a long, slow blink with both eyes, and then darts off into the wagons. Really, that's troubling. Um, okay. Let me pump up desktop audio a little bit. Everybody say something. How's that better? Any commentary, chat? Questions, comments, concerns? Still can't hear people. That's troubling. 1 second. Sarah, say something. How about now, chat? Yeah, I'm adjusting everybody's volume output. Well, that is frustrating. No kidding. So nobody's coming through at all. Everything's running through the same output. Well, that's frustrating. Hi, Michelle. From somewhere extremely faintly. Oh, I see the problem. How about now? No, not at all. Streaming output's at 100%. I don't know what's causing this. Just a moment. What about now?
Hi, testing.
Hello.
Anybody?
Testing.
Hello.
Michelle says that she hears people. Josh says now there's a buzzing noise.
I've been getting the buzzing noise off and on.
I was gonna say I've been hearing the buzzing noise off and on the whole time, so
I'm gonna go with it's better to be able to hear us and have a buzzing noise than not hear us and no buzzing noise. So
Yeah, we'll just sound like we're playing D&D, but like in the 1920s.
exactly. 1920s D&D.
welcome back to our brand new radio program.
Yeah.
Have you seen this new invention of seatbelts?
Wow, tell us all about it.
That's one of my favorite things about the Indiana Jones ride is Sulla is like so freaking jazzed about seatbelts and the little safety video they have. It's like they're new and exciting, and now we're not gonna die. It's great.
Not dying is always something to get excited about.
I don't know. Millennials are pretty excited about dying. Let's be real.
That's fair.
I don't want to die. I just want to like die, but then like closing credits happen, and then kind of leaves it open to the possibility that I'm not dead. And then if they pay me enough, I come back for a sequel. You know,
Oh my god.
and if the writing's good.
So really, you're kind of Harrison Ford, but you don't hate your character.
Exactly.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second, guys.
So are we good? Can... Oh, God, not again.
What?
Nope, nope. Okay, I'm getting audio coming through. Is there still a buzzing? Can somebody tell me?
I don't hear
Josh
the
said
buzzing.
the buzzing was gone.
I am frustrated.
Michelle doesn't hear a buzz either. So we're probably good.
Are we, though? Are we?
For now.
Oh, really?
Look, we're probably good enough to get back to chasing this poison down, which is obviously top priority.
Clearly.
It's true, the rain is washing it away.
I only hear the buzzing when Corey talks, so I'm gonna say it's probably your headset.
It's probably true, because
Yeah.
it hasn't been working.
That is.
So,
Alright. I can live with that. As long as everybody else can hear us in chat, I can live with
Yeah.
that.
Me too.
yeah, I'm gonna have to get a new one. I think my cat's chewing on it has destroyed something.
Let that be a lesson to you guys. Try to train your cats not to chew on your cords. And if they don't listen, they're cats. They're not gonna listen.
Well,
I was gonna
about to
say, if you
tell
can
them
do that,
to
please,
chew
by all
on it.
means.
Like,
I will pay
encourage
you
them to
any
do
amount of
it,
money.
not the opposite.
Cats. I love cats.
They're the best.
Cats are great.
Cats are the best. Alright.
Guys, I saw a doggo yesterday.
Are we gonna sidebar for Doggo?
Yes,
for doggo.
always.
Since we're waiting on Manny anyway.
Since we're waiting on Manny anyway, it was at brunch yesterday. And there was a woman and her dog and her mom having brunch, obviously for Mother's Day. And this doggo, he was a big yellow lab, and his name is Jameson. He's very handsome. And he gave us a visit, and he came over and said hi, and he was super, super cute. But the best part was that when their lunch got brought out, the woman's mom was like trying to feed him scraps, and she was like, "No, Mom, don't give him scraps." She's like, "It's Mother's Day. I'm a grandmother, and I'm gonna spoil my grandbaby." And it was the cutest thing. She was like, "This is my grandbaby, and I'm gonna spoil him." It was so precious.
I mean, you really can't argue with that logic. Is she right, though?
It's right.
I mean, yeah.
It made me so happy. Like, it made my day.
Well, since we're still waiting on Manny, I also have a dog story.
Okay.
God.
Yeah, no,
This is the best.
nobody
So-
rolled for advantage, so whoever tells the best dog story gets advantage.
Ooh. So I was in the library today helping someone, and he's like, "Yeah, like I'm looking for this biography about this astronaut." I'm like, "Cool, there's a lot of them. Which one?" And he's
Oh
like,
my god.
It starts with an M." And I'm like, okay. He's like, "It's the astronaut who has the dogs in the photo with him." And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, I know the one you're talking about. The book's right over here."
I love that picture.
the
That
best
is
way
one of
to
my
identify.
favorite astronaut portraits that I've ever
Just-
seen.
That's probably my actual favorite portrait just at all in of all portraiture. Like, it's the best because they're so happy.
Yeah, those are some happy dogs. And that guy is actually super cool in person. I met him while I was working at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. He is very, very nice.
His last name is Melvin.
He showed pictures of his dogs.
Oh,
So
They're-
cute.
Well, by virtue of the fact that there were 2 dogs in Yvette's story, she's currently in the lead. Corey, do you have any doggo stories you wish to compete with?
You should know that I only have cat stories. And, I mean,
Well, you're disqualified then because this was a doggo contest, so Yvette gets the advantage this round.
woo!
All right. We'll do
It's
cat.
okay.
We'll do
I
cat
don't
stories
get
during a later
I got
episode.
kisses from
Okay.
Jameson, So I'm okay with this.
Okay.
Advantage is not better than kisses from Jameson.
That's
Okay.
that's
About
probably
to
true.
say, you got to see this dog IRL, so who's the real winner here?
That's
true.
right.
I am the real winner. He was so cute.
Well, I fixed Sarah's audio while everybody was telling stories, so I appreciate you guys giving me an opportunity to fix some technical issues, and hopefully Manny will be back shortly. In the meantime, let's continue with the hunt for the poison. Moruk,
Okay. Yes.
you still get a general sense of it somewhere ahead, but it's fading fast.
Okay. So, um, what should I do? Like another survival check, or
That depends what you want to do. I can give you any number of actions once I know what Moruk is choosing to do.
I want to track it. I want to track where this poison trail is leading me.
Okay. The rain is beginning to come down much harder now, so I'm gonna say make this check with disadvantage.
Which check?
This is gonna be another survival check for tracking. Not bad. All right. As you're continuing along, the tracks for the horse suddenly become much deeper, and you also see that the boot prints change to a single boot print and then vanish entirely.
They just disappear.
The boot prints are following alongside where the horse's hooves are falling, and then you find a spot where the boot prints become a little heavier, and they were already heavy and sinking into the mud, but they become just a little bit heavier. You see one boot print, and then you see that the hoof prints become a little heavier.
Okay, so he got on the horse. Can I keep following the trail?
You can. You're gonna have to make the same check with disadvantage again. Okay. As you follow, the hoofprints leave the path and go into deep, springy grass as it moves into the trees, and after about 60 or 70 yards, you lose it entirely.
Okay, and there's no trace of the poison?
It left your range of 30 feet a little bit a ways. It seems as though he might have been still just out of range as you were following, and he may have noticed you, hopped on the horse, and attempted to ride away.
Okay, I didn't realize the prints were that fresh.
Sorry about that, guys.
No, welcome back. You're fine.
I thought we were looking at something that had been, like, an hour past and was being washed away by rain.
You were actively chasing someone, it appears, based on
Woo,
your tracking fun.
Would I have, like, at what point would Mora Rook have noticed that she was actively tracking someone and not tracking old footprints?
It would have been fairly obvious from the beginning
I would have
that these.
at least attempted stealth then, if I had known that.
Okay, well, we can do that for future, but that is and has been, up to your decision. I apologize if that was unclear at any point.
Yeah, I didn't realize we were tracking someone, like, who was actively running away.
Well, we will. I'll try to be clearer about that in the future. But for now, as it appears ahead of you, whomever it was may be gone. You can make a perception check. Now, the rain is coming down pretty hard, but you can still hear faintly ahead of you what sounds like the rhythmic gallop of a horse. It's muffled heavily by the trees, but you do get a direction, and it is headed directly toward the city of Baldur's Gate, which is where you're headed now.
Okay, I will turn to Elliot. I don't know if you can hear that over the rain, but it sounds like he's gotten on the horse and they're galloping towards Baldur's Gate, which means that either we leave the trail here and we have basically nothing, except we know someone outside of the camp had access to poison, which isn't a lot, or I can turn into a horse and we can chase.
And are you sure that the only person with the poison is leaving camp?
I'm not sure. I didn't. Well, actually, Brian, when I did detect poison, was there any other poison coming from the wagon where I had retrieved this vial that is not filled with poison but has poison on it?
Not anymore.
As far as I can tell, the wagon where that man was who we thought was responsible there wasn't any poison in it after I took this out, and she holds the vial up. And this doesn't have poison in it, just on it, which only indicates that the man in the wagon came in contact with the poison, which apparently over half the caravan did.
Okay. Then, yeah. I mean, if you think that's probably best before the trail disappears completely.
Okay, I'm gonna wild shape into a horse and kneel down so Elliot can get on.
Elliot, as you watch before your eyes, Morrook, gear and all, seems to stretch and elongate, and everything about her changes in the blink of an eye into a beautiful roan chestnut horse.
I'm just like, wow, cool. I haven't seen many druids.
At the same
the
time,
horse kneels down so that you can climb onto her back.
A little bit of connection issues.
oh god.
Oh, yep.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and kill my camera just in case.
Okay.
At least we're not dropping much in the way of frames.
Right.
Okay, so, Elliot, if you could, go ahead and give me an animal handling check
Okay.
to see if you can actually manage this.
To get up on a horse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Elliot, with the confidence of someone who is just very trusting of this friend of yours who's turned into a horse, you swing your leg over, and Morrook immediately stands. And Morrook, what do you do?
I am gonna chase the sound of the galloping as hard as I can.
Okay, well, before we get started with that, I'm going to cut away back to Sir Arik and Valara. Sir Arik, a cat that you have seen before walks up to you and starts batting at your shins, and then sits in front of you, looking up at you with luminous kitty eyes, and just stares for a moment.
I'm going to grab the kitty and hold him. And I want to pet him. I'm like, oh, okay, I love you too.
The cat immediately begins to purr.
Valara's just sitting here like, I'm learning so much about Sir Eric on this journey.
I mean, oh, look at this mangy beast that came up to me. You should pet him. He's so soft and dangerous.
The cat rolls over and presents its belly.
No, it's a trap. Through many years of study, I've learned this is a trap.
Yeah,
No.
Sir Aric's wrist guards blunt the impact of kitty teeth. After a few moments of this, Reaper hops out of your arms and alights in front of you both and begins to shuffle back and forth, doing the next best thing it can to pointing, like a hunting dog.
What is it, Lassie? Is Timmy stuck in a well?
Yeah.
Reaper turns and looks at you and growls.
I'll take that as a no, but you still have something to tell us. Okay. Meow once for yes, you have something to tell us. Meow twice for no, you don't. Okay, so you got something to tell us. Is it regarding our other party members? Is it regarding Morik and Elliot?
Meow.
Are they in danger?
Meow.
Oh shoot, son. Are they actually in a well? Like
The cat just stares
Like,
at you.
I'm gonna feel really
Flicking
bad
his
if I made
tail.
that joke. And then suddenly they're actually in a well.
The cat just flicks his tail at you and hops out of the wagon.
Maybe we should just follow him.
Yeah, I'm going. We should just follow the cat. Yeah.
At this
Give me that kitty.
At this point, oh, thank you for the follow, Bad Admiral. I'm curious what you did to be considered bad. Are you no longer active service? Sebastian, the other caravan guard leaning against the wagon, looks at the two of you and says, I'll stay and watch your friends then if you don't need me to come. Someone should remain with them in any case, just in case someone comes back and tries to finish what they started.
Oh, no, do we both go, Sir Arik? Because he has a really good point.
No, it's fine. It's what I'm being paid to do in any case, but...
Okay,
Do me a
look,
favor.
we're both gonna go. Okay?
Okay.
Look, come here, you person, come here, look.
Yeah.
Just take care of them, okay? You should see what I did to the dragon guy, alright?
Fair enough. Speaking
Yeah.
of which, take care of my friend if you find him. He's
We will bring him, we will take care of him, I
he's tougher
promise.
than he
as long
looks,
as-
but he is a scrawny little fellow, and I want to make certain that he comes back alive. I would immediately go after him, but there's two of you and one of me, and somebody has to make sure that your friends, wake up alive.
I certainly hope they do.
Well, they seem to have recovered all right from this medicine you've given them, but I would rather no one come by and try to slit their throats in the night.
Now you're just making me nervous.
I'm told I have that effect on people.
Yeah.
Listen, go. The longer you wait, the longer it's going to take.
Alright.
Also, we're charging headlong into danger with no regard for anything.
You're not
Yeah!
there.
Let's
That's
do
how
it.
I roll.
Onward to danger.
Do I get to set something on fire, though? That's the real
Damn it,
question.
Valara, it's raining, okay?
No, hey, Valara, who are you hanging out with? You know you're gonna get to set something on fire.
This is why we can't leave
At
you
some
two
point
alone
while you
together.
almost die.
Yes, at some point. Yeah, because you'll be
You know-
attacking whoever's attacking me. So,
Yeah, I'll try not to light you on fire.
I
No
appreciate that.
promises.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Moving along. Sir Arik, let's see. Both you and Valara immediately set out, Reaper leading the way. Reaper is traveling fairly quickly, but always stops just at the edge of your ability to follow and turns and stares at you and waits for you to catch up.
It's like we're in some sort of studio or Mage Ghibli kind of story.
Oh, I love those stories. He's gonna lead us like, yeah, is he like a bus? Like he's gonna transform to like a bus? We can like ride him, and he like takes us.
A cat caravan.
Reaper,
Yes.
Reaper just stares at you and flicks his tail.
All right, let's just follow him.
Yeah.
So, go ahead and give me a. Actually, at this point, given the amount of rain coming down, and how long you guys have been out in it, Morrook and Valara, or no, excuse me, Morrook and Elliot, can you guys give me a Constitution check?
You can't actually get sick from the rain. It's been scientifically proven.
Yeah, but this is not the modern days. People aren't driving in cars.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
So constituted.
I would add, I think, the horses.
Yeah, you would actually roll the horse's stats for that, and I believe the link to that is in the item I gave you in your inventory.
The more
Horse dice.
menagerie?
No, it is not. That's just your pets. All right, I need to give you a link to your wild shapes then. Let me go ahead and pull that up real fast. Morrook the draft horse.
Well, I actually, I have the
It's still a
riding
+1.
horse.
So
Yeah, it's still. Well, I had the riding horse pulled up, not the draft horse. I figured riding
Alright.
horse is probably better, but I don't know if their stat blocks are any different.
actually, the constitution on the draft horse is actually lower than Morrook's.
Wow.
So that's a 10 instead of an 11. Morrook, the rain is slick on your flanks, but you are okay for the time being. Elliot, this is actually quite bracing. You're having a good time.
She's on an adventure.
He
Or he.
is on an adventure.
He's on an adventure.
Yeah, Sir Arik and Valara, you haven't been in the rain long enough for this to be of any concern to you yet. As you press on ahead, go ahead and give me a Constitution check, because Reaper is moving at a pretty accelerated clip.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Where's mine at?
It's on your
main
page.
tab, and you'll find it on the
under
left-hand
abilities.
side under abilities.
Gotcha.
We're
The two
too
of-
distracted by the cat.
Yeah.
The two of you aren't making as much progress as you would like, and Reaper is beginning to appear frustrated.
Hey, listen, we're not all cats here, okay?
Yeah, dude. Like, come on.
The
See what
cat-
I'm wearing? I'm wearing a Cadillac. All right. Like, come on.
The cat growls at you and doesn't appear to understand the reference and just keeps moving. By the way, for those of you watching at home, thanks to Bad Admiral and a number of other people who joined up between now and last time, we have actually pushed beyond our 200 follower goal.
Hey.
So thanks to Bad Admiral, we are now at 202 of our
Awesome.
200 people goal. We'll be moving on to a new stretch goal soon, and we'll consult with the guy running the channel behind the curtain and see what he says our next big thing should be.
This is so exciting.
I know, right? So, as we move along, Sir Arik and Valara continue to pick your way through the woods and the underbrush. Eventually, ahead of you, deep in the distance, you do hear the sound of hooves coming to you over the wind as it blows into your faces. Go ahead and make perception checks.
Prepare for that natural one.
I believe in you.
You said Constitution, right?
Thank Thank God I'm a librarian, though. That plus.
Oh my god!
Wow, what is going on today?
What?
Oh Christ!
Laura, I think
Okay.
this is the time when we go retire to a small hut and read books for the rest of our lives, because I think we're just going to get ourselves killed.
I mean, that depends if you can actually read.
Hey.
Your eyesight seems to be gone. Well, Valara and Sir Arik, the rain is just coming down too thickly. You're unable to place anything ahead of you, so you just continue to follow Reaper, who is beginning to look even more bedraggled.
Oh, I just want to wrap up that cat like a burrito.
I know, we need to get him quick. Grab him.
Need
Alright.
to make him warm and yeah.
Meanwhile, while Valara and Sir Arik are picking their way through the woods in a struggling attempt to catch up to their friends, Moraruk and Elliot. Moraruk, if you could go ahead and give me a Constitution check. And I'll say with
It's okay, we got all
advantage
the
given the
ones.
circumstances.
Okay, so I'm just gonna roll a d20 with advantage, and we'll add a +1 to it instead of actually rolling my con. Since
That's fine.
That's got a +2.
Oh.
11.
11. Okay.
I am like barely making this, you guys.
But you're making it, and that's the point.
That
So
is
with an 11, you press ahead, picking your way through the underbrush and moving at a fairly brisk clip. Elliot, you are doing your best to hold on and making the trip as well as you can without any gear or tackle. Elliot, I am going to need an animal handling check from you.
Josh kindly reminds us that we have 11 d4s of inspiration left to the entire party.
What? Where did you get those
mean-
from?
I actually forgot about that, and I didn't remember how many we had. So, during
I haven't
Let's save them
been
for
on
a
the
special
horse so
occasion.
long.
For those of you who don't know, you can actually donate to the
Okay.
channel, and you can get certain benefits given to the players or to the DM, depending on what
Oh,
you
it's like Hunger
choose to do
Games.
with your donations. And now we have another new follower according to the chart. It says 203. Interesting.
Mhm.
I guess that'll pop up momentarily.
Yay!
But in the meantime, just so you're all aware, that is something that you can do. If you choose, you can tell me you would like to use an inspiration and add 1d4 to the check of your roll. So,
Oh, it's purple.
Elliot, you are managing to hold on. This is the first time you've ridden bareback, but you find it quite easy.
What's that about riding bareback?
I'm about to say.
Phrasing.
Raising.
It's just like one of the romance novels.
Too bad Valara isn't here to see this. Too
Or
bad
Sir
Valara. Period. Apparently.
Yeah, the rain, it's just sheeting down, and you can't see through any of that.
I'm like a book man. I'm not good in the rain.
How very librarian of you.
At least she's in character. All right, so as you travel ahead, go ahead and give me a perception check with advantage, Elliot, since your eyes are tuned to this better at the moment, as Moraruk is attempting to pick through the underbrush and follow this path. And the advantage is with the assistance of Moraruk.
I'm doing the hard work so you can keep your eyes open.
Exactly. Teamwork.
Makes the dream work.
Ahead of you, you do pick out a solitary figure. They appear to be on a horseback and have two very large bundles slung over the sides of the horse. The figure seems to be swaying a little bit in the rain, but it's difficult to tell even at this range.
I can't see this, right? Just Elliot?
Elliot, between the two of you, you both notice it.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna bear down on it.
You're going to try to dash ahead?
Use your inspiration
Yeah,
dice.
Okay.
with
Drop flooding.
inspiration.
I will say go ahead and do this. This is going to be a constitution check because you're pushing through the rain, the mud, the wet, and the underbrush. Uh, not exactly being completely clear.
I mean, it was close.
Other people.
Oh, hey, there's the natural one.
What is going on?
I don't know.
I see no natural one here. Oh, it was dropped.
Oh no.
Am I picking up somebody else's chat?
I feel like it.
Is this like a belated audio stream? What is going on?
That's what it sounds like. That sounds like her comment, like what we were talking about when Sir Arik rolled a natural 1.
All right. Well, at
That's
least it
very
got
belated.
here. That's weird. All right. So the internet is a strange and magical place, friends. We're just gonna roll with it.
Internet is for porn.
No, the internet is really, really great.
The internet
So great.
is really, really great.
Oh, porn. Anyway.
Sorry. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, Josh, I have to agree. That was very odd. And yes, please don't get kicked off Twitch. Let's, keep the quoting Avenue Q to a minimum. So, I was going to say go ahead and give me a constitution check. And I have no idea what that link you just posted is, Josh. I'm not even going to click it.
Okay, Constitution check.
This is going to be a constitution check. I'm going to say because you can see where you're going and you are having an easier time of this to pick up, go ahead and do. You can use your. You can do this with advantage. You also can use the inspiration if you wish.
I don't think I need to.
All right.
I'm just guessing. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
We got 11 of them.
Okay. As the person that you see ahead of you is riding, you see them falter, and you're able to catch them quite easily. You're within about 45 feet and closing on them when you see them slip and fall off of their horse.
I would like to pull up sharply.
Okay. You rear up, your hooves kicking in the air, and move next to the person, so that you avoid trampling them as you're moving at speed. Their horse, apparently used to strange happenings, just sort of trots ahead and then turns and comes back to its fallen rider. What would the two of you like to do as you see this person lying on the ground in the rain, in the mud?
I'm gonna pretend I'm just a horse.
Okay.
Element of surprise.
Sure. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm gonna say no check necessary because
Okay.
you're, a horse.
Because you're a horse.
Yeah.
I'm a horse, guys.
Hey,
Something
come
better
on to
than
the horse behind the curtain.
Can we quote that in chat? Hashtag I'm a horse.
Horse.
I'm a horse.
It's
I'm
true.
a horse. I'm a horse.
Remember that girl in elementary school that was totally obsessed with horses?
That was me.
Every class had one.
Yeah.
But now I'm really a horse.
Living the dream, Sarah. Living the dream.
Living the dream.
All right.
10-year-old you'd be jealous.
Elliot, since your horse is pretending to just be a horse, what would you like to do?
Okay, I think I know how to do this right. You said perception with advantage?
Well, the question is, what are you going to do?
It's true.
To the person on the ground, probably.
Yeah. You see ahead of you, there's a person on the ground. They appear to have just fallen off the horse. You can make a perception check if you like. You can hop off the horse. It's up to you. I am having an impossible time hearing Corey. What is going on here?
I'm getting a network connection issue from her.
I can see her.
I
Yeah,
see.
I can see her,
I
but
see
don't
her
hear
perfectly, but I can't hear her.
And how far away are we?
There we go. All right.
I think that's the audio delay. I think she's.
It's the audio delay. It's like delayed, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's coming through delayed. Corey, the distance is probably about 10 to 15 feet. You see this person lying on the ground in the mud. I have no idea.
Yeah, did
what
you hear me
just
ask
said.
how far away we were?
Yes, about 15 feet. We are having some strange connection issues with Elliot the Wizard. Bear with us a moment, chat.
It looks really cool though. Like she's like looking into the camera. I feel it's like one of those things where it's like, look, guys, I found this video. What does it mean? And it's just like someone trying to like give you a message, like in like Mist or something like that. You know,
It's
and you're like,
yes,
what
it's
does this
exactly
mean?
Like that.
You know, like who is this person? We need to find out where she came from.
It is exactly like that.
This is the start of a horror movie.
Oh no.
It's like we've just found a lost book in Riven, and it's
Exactly.
It's
Speaking to us, we're like, what does this mean? Let's sit here and read all 18 books and try to figure it out.
I'm ashamed to say I never actually beat those.
You know what? Neither did I, but let me tell you, I enjoyed the hell out of them.
I had a great time. I just never could solve the puzzles.
Yeah.
Not all of them, anyway. This was long before GameFAQs and Wiki.
Oh god, yeah, it was before like the actual internet.
Remember when GameFAQs was literally just text? It was like ASCII.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I
Yes.
do.
Loved those days. Loved them.
I still have printouts from those days.
I was.
Nice.
It's like we're time travelers.
Sorry, guys.
Michelle says she solved them all, for the record. In case you wanted to be jealous.
Just creepy laughter randomly. Okay.
I love this. This is so intriguing to me. Like, this is great. I can't wait till we get her back so we can find out where she's been and like what the whole story is.
If she's like in another dimension.
Yeah,
we
she's
lost
like,
her.
oh no.
We
Come
lost
back,
her.
Corey. We miss you.
We need to know where you went.
Tell us of the dank memes from the future.
Exactly.
What were the winning lottery numbers this week?
Oh gosh, that's good. That's smart.
Yeah. That'll just be for us to know, though.
Here on live stream.
I'm just holding on for.
Well, we can't see you, but we can hear you, so that's the important part. Might need to reset your camera again.
Give me 1 second, guys. Let me make sure my kids aren't burning down the house.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I tell you what, it's a little early, but I'm going to say we're going to go ahead and take a break real quick, and I'll try to resolve this with Corey in the meantime. Why don't you guys go, take 5. We'll be back in a few minutes. Sorry about this, chat. Wouldn't be Dungeon Dwellers.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go
some
get
kind of
off.
issue.
It's still delayed.
Okay, be back.
Bring her back to us, Ryan. Bring her back to us.
It's like
I mean, Might just be me, but I can't hear
So
anyone.
sorry, I forgot to unmute when we were coming back. That's my bad.
Ryan, why?
I'm the worst. So as I was saying, welcome back. It's Dungeon Dwellers, where everything goes wrong all the time. One of these days, I'm gonna get like a producer who can run all of this while I DM, or I'll be producing for someone else while they DM, and we won't have these problems because we won't get distracted solving every other issue that pops up.
I don't think we have that in the budget. Our budget of $0.
It's a budget of negative dollars depending on the day, but we'll see if I can't make a demon deal with someone and sell my soul.
Yeah, that's normal D&D
Sell your
stuff,
soul
right?
for lottery numbers. Do this smart.
Also, can you sell your soul if you are in fact the king of hell? Like, who do you make the deal with? I know you're a crossroads demon.
You go through time and you make a deal with yourself.
Yeah. Sounds like a pyramid scheme.
It's not really a pyramid; it's more of a circle, but
A circle.
An Ouroboros scheme.
yeah, thank you. Valara, if you didn't already have advantage, I would give you advantage for using Ouroboros in a sentence.
I am a librarian.
I like it.
Watched a lot of Full Metal Alchemist.
I mean, there is that. We need to talk about that later, because I actually just discovered Travis Willingham was voice acting in a game I was playing recently as a character who I could not remember for the life of me who the voice actor was, and suddenly I realized he was using his Roy Mustang voice to voice this character. I was so excited. I was literally bouncing in my chair for a few minutes. He's just got a great voice. What can I tell you?
He does.
All right, so moving along.
So anyway,
Yes.
dude on the ground.
Mororuk has successfully helped Elliot to get down. Elliot has stepped off the back of the horse and is feeling pretty confident about riding a horse with no additional
Horse gear.
horse gear, saddle and tack and everything. In front of you, on the ground, now about 10 feet away, you see a person covered in mud lying on the in the rain slick underbrush, leaves sticking to them, the cloak muddied, and it's difficult to discern the color in this level of darkness as the rain falls down over you. Their horse has turned, seeing their rider has fallen, and is nudging the fallen figure. What do you do?
Move this cat first.
Kitty.
And suddenly everybody in the channel perks up and looks at the screen.
I'm gonna stand a little back, and I'm just gonna be like, "Sir, are you okay?" See if I get any form of response from him.
Okay. Let's find out. The figure stirs on the ground. He, or perhaps she, it's hard to tell from this distance and angle, makes a sort of low moaning sound, just a kind of
Okay, so I'm gonna take a step closer, and I'm gonna poke him with my foot.
Very scientific.
Okay. You poke the person with your foot, and they moan in pain.
All right, so they don't seem
Thank you,
like
Sir
they're.
Carcass. We appreciate the follow.
They don't seem like they're gonna like. Can I roll a perception check, see if they're like actually dying, or if they're trying to.
That's going to be a medicine check if you want to check them over.
A medicine check.
Mororuk, you're still horsing?
Can I medicine check as a horse?
Oh, that sucks.
Horsing around.
You can perception check as a horse. Medicine check is more like actually giving someone a physical of some kind.
Okay. I
All of a sudden,
perceptive
there's just a
them
horse hitting him.
as a horse.
As a horse. Very perceptive horse.
Yeah, you're definitely a perceptive horse. Um,
It's all I ever want to be in life.
Perceptive horse?
Just want to be a perceptive horse. That's it. Love me.
you're a much more perceptive horse than the horse currently stuck in the hospital. It's weird. And if anybody out there gets that reference, then
Oh,
thank
I
you.
got that.
Kid Gorgeous was a great stand-up.
That comedy sketch was really funny.
I fired the horse catcher.
Wait, can he do that?
No, he shouldn't be allowed to do that. Sorry, we'll get away from the comedy sketches and the politics.
Back to the candy.
Back to the game. Much more important at the moment.
Okay, what do I perceive as a horse?
As a
which is going to be
horse-
totally useless to everyone except me.
As a horse, you perceive that Elliot is having difficulty checking over the person, and you also perceive that this person is definitely hurting from having fallen over, but it seems like something else might be wrong.
I'm gonna, Wait, can I talk to the other horse because I'm a horse?
That's true.
Oh my god, yes.
Questions I have rarely considered.
Yes.
Ask him how the apples are.
You can certainly try.
Get them dank apple reviews.
Is your human okay?
Horse. Oh, let me see what the horse's intelligence level is. I need to check.
This is the best game ever.
No, is this a horse and dumb as a rock, or is this a smart horse?
This is. I love D&D. I
Is
love
this
Dungeons
a
and
shy
Dragons
horse,
so
a smart
much.
horse, or
Okay, the horse. Go ahead and make a, I guess, an animal handling check with advantage because you're a horse.
Oh my god.
This is the best day ever, you guys.
That's really impressive, all things considered. The horse just kind of makes a concerned whinny.
Can I interpret that to mean the human is not okay?
You may interpret that the horse is not sure.
Okay, the horse is not sure.
The
horse
the
is
horse
not
is
invested in this rider.
the horse is not up on the vagaries of humanoid physiology.
Okay, I'm gonna stay close to Elliot so that if this dick tries to pull something, like he's pretending to be hurt, but he's not really hurt, and tries to, like, pull a knife on her or something, I can kick him in the face.
Okay.
I mean, that's kind of what I was like.
You move forward, and there is now a very large draft horse and another very large draft horse looming over this guy.
And also a small human, human wizard? Human
Yes.
sorcerer?
Yes.
A human of some stripe.
Human magic user.
I'm a wizard.
So,
You're a wizard here.
Exactly.
well, Wizard Elliot, would you like to do anything while Moruk is now looming over your shoulder?
I just kind of turn back and I see those two, and since my medicine check wasn't that great, can I, like,
Now, don't forget,
Get-
you can use the Inspiration D4s. There are 11 of them left on the stream.
okay. Even if I roll a 4, it still won't be that great.
It'll be better than a 7. You could make a second check, and you can use the inspiration die, but you will be making this at disadvantage because you've already checked him over once, and you're not really sure what's going on here.
Okay.
His pulse, you were unable to find because of how cold and rain-slick your own hands are.
Okay.
Well, he's moaning, so, you know, he's
Oh,
probably
so
not...
It's not dead.
That was the exact same thing.
Well, remember to add the D4 if you wanted to add your inspiration.
Okay.
Okay, 9.
2.
Well, considering the DC,
It's probably 10.
I have to, because you've seen this before, I do have to give you the +2 circumstance bonus. That puts you to an 11. So yes, you do figure it out. This man has been poisoned.
Damn it.
Dun
Okay.
dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
So can I try and stabilize him so we can try and figure out why he was running away and now he's dying?
You may attempt to stabilize him. Do you have your medical kit with you?
Yes.
Okay. This is going to use up one more unit of your medical kit. I think you've used 2 of it so far, and it has a total of 4 uses.
Okay.
That's going to grant you advantage on your medicine check.
Okay.
Medicine him real good.
I'll do my best. I got all my good rolls
Okay.
from
You do
riding the
manage
horse.
to stabilize him.
Okay.
It's difficult, and you're having to work in the rain, but despite the fact that your hands are growing numb from the cold and the wet, you do manage to do this. However, at this point, it has been some time since both of you were in the rain, so I'm going to need a Constitution saving throw from both of you.
Use your strong horse constitution, Warwick.
No.
I don't. Oh God.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
no.
Oh no.
Oh. Oh dear.
Oh, oh yes. But oh
Mororook,
no.
you're fine. However, Elliot appears to be shaking and quite tired from all of this rain. It may have
No, I
been
was the
bracing
one.
before, but the cold and the wet is sinking in. And
I am a large, warm mammal that has been running. I'm very warm. I'm going
Hug
to
her. Hug her.
press myself up against Elliot for warmth.
okay.
Only warmth.
Elliot, you are comforted
Just
by a very large horse trying to side hug you.
Sweaty.
But you do take a level of exhaustion.
Same
Okay.
though.
How do I put that in?
I'm applying it to you as we speak.
Okay.
Have Arik and Valara caught up with us, or are they still blinded by
Well,
the
Did
we're-
you see our rolls?
We're
Yeah,
about
did you see what's going on? We're like stuck in the mud. We're playing in the dirt. Like we're not even like
We're
we're just trying to
distracted
get
by
the
the
cat.
cat,
Yeah, we're
yeah.
like, kitty, come here, come here.
Speaking of
Yeah,
which, while
probably
all
with the
this is
forest
going
fire.
on, because it does take, it does take Elliot a little while to get this done. I'm going to ask that you guys go ahead and give me your continued, go ahead and give me your continued Constitution checks to press forward
Okay.
as you follow the cat through the woods.
Now, are we rolling disadvantage because there's a cat near us?
No.
Shut
Or...
No, you are rolling this, and remember you can use.
Hey.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
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 no.
the cat was near me, clearly.
Add a
Oh
D4.
no.
Add a D4.
All right. Sir Arik,
Arik,
you
no.
are having some difficulties with the rain washing into your eyes, and it is becoming a problem. However, Valara is able to steady you and keep you going. You do, however, because you are so very... well, hang on a moment. You rolled this as a check. I'm sorry, I should have told you to roll that as a save. However, that wouldn't have mattered because you have the same modifier either way. That's okay. Yeah, you do take a point of exhaustion yourself. The armor is really starting to weigh on you, and the cold is sinking in.
Not my fault that there's a cat running around here.
I mean, he's not wrong though.
Well,
like,
the cat is the reason you guys aren't getting lost.
Oh, I'm lost.
Yeah.
Kitty's eyes. I'm lost now. I don't care about anything else.
We're gonna be cat cultists by the end of this.
I know. Cat cultists that read romantic novels. You know.
Sounds like an
Those are our
interesting time.
secret tomes.
All right. So both of you have taken a point of exhaustion. The rest of the party is okay. It takes you a little while, but eventually, as Elliot is cleaning up the healer's kit and picking them together. In the distance up ahead, um, through a copse of trees in the rain, you see that Reaper has stopped and is staring back at both of you, growling mournfully because of being so wet and uncomfortable, and is guiding you through. And beyond that, you can see two horses and what looks like a humanoid figure standing in the rain about 100 yards ahead.
The person on the ground, like, what does he look like?
It's difficult to tell. The hood is up and the person has been lying sideways for most of this. As soon as Elliot turns him over and begins to try to help them, the only thing keeping the fever down, as far as you can see, because sometimes the rain is beginning to sizzle a little bit as it strikes the person's face, even though it remains damp. What they appear to be is a lightly bearded, slim person.
So the
I'm dropping
choppiness
him.
of that meant that
Yeah.
basically what I got is fever, sizzle, person, mane, wet,
Okay, how's this?
roughly.
Better?
Better.
That's better.
Okay. Peak usage hours in this area. Google Fiber needs to hurry up and be available here. Okay. So as I was saying, the person appears to be roughly middle-aged. They have a light beard, and their skin is pale and clammy, despite the fact that their head seems to be quite warm with fever. Obviously, being in the elements is doing them no favors, but they do appear to be poisoned as well. They have been stabilized, though for how long you can't say. And Elliot, you are certain you're going to be able to, at least get them some help now, but it was a near thing. This person was close to dying when you caught up to them.
So I'm gonna.
Okay.
How
And
many
so,
wild shapes do I have per day?
I believe that is dependent upon your druid level. If you'll give me just a moment, I will check for you.
Thank you.
I apologize for the delay, friends. I'm just trying to look this up, and I do not remember where in the druid stuff that this is supposed to be.
It's alright. Apparently my character's not going anywhere. So.
Well, you guys.
We're distracted by the cat, so like Gucci.
Well, you do see ahead, because of where Reaper has positioned himself. You do see ahead of you where they will be. You can use this feature twice, and you regain expended uses whenever you finish a short or long rest. So you can use it one more time if necessary. Sarah, did you catch that?
No.
You have 2 uses of wild shape total.
Ah, okay, yes.
So, your friends have caught up to you. What do you want to do?
Just in case, I'm gonna stay as a horse.
Okay. You continue to horse.
I snort at
Horsing
Sir
around.
because Sir Arik is the last person who had to deal with me being a wild-shaped horse, and that did not go so well.
It didn't, but it wasn't your fault. I appreciate the effort you put into it. I was just a little too excited, and I think I just had delusions of grandeur, like I can do that properly, and I didn't, and I ate it.
He's not a young man anymore.
I'm not a young man anymore, exactly, you know?
For any of you curious, you should go back and check out that episode. That was amazing.
It was really awesome.
We had one glorious moment of you riding Morrook, and then
Amazing.
Literally for like 20 seconds, it was the most epic painting you would have ever seen in your entire life, you know? And then right after it was awesome.
Yeah.
so yeah.
Half
so
dragon
so
lightning breath. It's no joke.
I was like, it was just no.
so Morrook snorts, and I think you would recognize her from the last time. You know it's Morrook, but a horse.
Yes.
So, Valara.
Lara, look, we know that horse. We know that horse.
You guys see Elliot up ahead, and Reaper, completely bedraggled and miserable looking, pads up to Elliot, looking completely exhausted, and just morales, just helplessly, miserably. Oh no, it's happening again.
Oh no. Oh no, we lost her to the future.
Lost of the future again.
She's drifting into the future.
Oh no.
Oh, it's crazy.
Draw symbols. Let us know which door we have to go through, and then pull the switch. You know, so we can turn on the radar thing, and then
Whatever it is we need to do.
whatever it is that we need to do on this crazy island.
Alright, I'm gonna try to chat with Corey. Well, okay, we just lost Corey, so if you will give me just a moment.
That's cool. It gives me a minute to put the kids down. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Alright.
I'm glad that what we've accomplished tonight is chasing a man down in the rain.
And a cat.
And a cat. I found a cat. We found a cat.
We did find a cat.
Yes. Very cute cat.
10 out of 10 wood cat again.
Yes, exactly. 10 out of 10.
But, Vet, is there any time that you wouldn't 10 out of 10 would cat again?
That's my secret. I'm always looking for cats.
I'm always 10 cat. Hold on.
Well, I mean, I guess if it was a hairless cat, no.
Aw, Sphinx cats need love too.
Yeah, but they're not 10 out of 10. Like, and some of like the Japanese cats are 11 out of 10. Let's be real, they're so soft. Just it's like a cloud.
Cloud kitty.
Welcome back.
Am I in this dimension again?
We think so.
We're not 100% certain, but we'll find out in just a moment.
Hello, future Corey.
You know, I really wish the future was more exciting than the present, if that's indeed what I was doing.
How was Infinity War Part 2?
I mean, it was mildly disappointing.
Batman
Okay,
dies.
that is not what I
Spoilers.
wanted to hear. Also, spoilers.
Batman dies. I can't believe it.
It feels Dumbledore.
Okay. So, Elliot, Valara, Sir Auric, and Morrook the horse, what do you do now that you're all together?
I'm just horsing
I'm
around.
gonna notice the
Well,
guy
again-
who's 100% laying on the floor. Be like, so what's up? Is he dead? We can make him dead.
Fire.
It'll blow him up.
We have lots of fire.
Do we
Well,
need
what
to
I
blow
was
up?
saying
got
before I
plenty
went
of-
back in time again,
Oh my
but
god, it's out of
I was
sync
just
again.
going to explain the situation and what. Oh
It's not too far off. Oh
Is it really?
no,
Pretty slow. We'll probably just have to reset it like every 5 minutes or so.
this is insane.
Like, my internet is working fine otherwise.
Not sure how we're going to survive this.
First.
So what do the rest
Why
of you
don't-
want
why
to
don't
do?
we- I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
Yes, Mom Warwick?
This is Sarah, not Morarook.
Okay.
The Sarah suggestion is Corey should type what she wants to do in Dungeon Dwellers chat and see if that has less of a delay than the audio.
I don't know if
And that
Corey
way we
can
can-
hear us, but she seems to be looking at the screen. She's thumbs up.
Can
at
hear
us.
us.
Okay.
She seems to be on board with this plan. Would anyone like to voice Elliot when Corey types?
I mean, I think you have to do it, DM.
Yeah, you are a boy as well, and she plays a boy character, so
That's fair.
it would make sense. But then again, when do we ever make sense?
Sometimes. You know, I'm just happy. Wait, Manny's back. Never mind.
You're just happy what? Wait, hold on a second.
No, no,
What?
no, no, no. No, I'm not saying it because then you're gonna do it.
No, do it. Come on. You know I'm gonna do it. Come on. What is it?
No, I'm morbidly curious. I want to know.
I was
I have to
gonna
know.
say that I'm happy Arik hasn't made a joke about Elliot riding Morarook yet.
Oh.
Now if you
Well,
make it,
'cause
it's
you're not-
meta. So don't do that.
We didn't come across you guys when Elliot was writing Morarook, so
That is true.
Oh, that's true. I mean, you could logically assume that it happened, but there's no proof.
I could assume, and yes, Arik and Manny would make some quips about that. So I don't know.
the ghost laughter is really creepy.
Yeah, the ghost laughter is freaking me out.
Someone will laugh on my jokes, damn it.
Only the ghosts.
Alright, I'm waiting on Corey's response so I can voice Elliot.
It's like ye olden times. It's like we're waiting on a letter.
Or an
Exactly.
email.
Dear Morrook, times in the cottage house has been strange. And they gotta sign it like Esquire the
Alright,
third.
Father got
As
the
you come
typhus
upon-
again.
let's dive back in, guys. I don't want to use up our last hour with this.
Yeah.
Okay. As all of you arrive, Elliot explains the situation and says, I'm not sure what happened exactly. We were following him thinking this might be the poisoner, but when we found him, he fell off the horse, and he seems to be poisoned himself. I think I've stabilized him. He seems like he's not losing ground, but he's definitely not well. And I'm afraid the rain is getting to me as well. Elliot seems to shiver a little bit.
Well, we should probably try and find a way to get out of the rain. Is
Are
there
we
like a
close to anything?
What do my elf eyes see?
Well, give me a perception check, please.
All right, do you want to take bets how bad I whiff it?
I don't think you're gonna do as bad as I did.
Oh!
Boom!
Oh!
Damn!
Your elf eyes see all.
Big glasses though.
Past, present, and future.
Valara, as you scan around the woods, you catch every little rustle, every raindrop falling for a few moments. You find yourself experiencing a moment of clarity and stillness that you rarely have felt outside of a library. You can see the path back. You do remember a bit the way back to the camp, and with the 2 horses, you think you might be able to get the both of you, get all 4 of you back without too much trouble. The man on the ground, however, will need to be put across the back of one of the horses if he is going to be carried back, because Sir Auric, as you can see, looks like a little bit shaken as well, despite his stoic exterior.
All right. So, uh, well, guys, I can see the way back to camp. We can regroup where it's warm, because it's clear that the majority of everyone else here, aside from Horsarook, is a little bit cold and wet and not doing so great. And also, we probably have more supplies to work on this poor fellow who seems a bit poisoned at the moment.
Yeah, I'm a little shaken and cold. Can I get a ride, Mora? Can I just hop on? You just take me all the way back.
You're so rude.
I asked. I didn't just jump on your back.
Yeah, obviously that's more Rook out of character there. So
Moorabrook will like she's almost like she's responding to what Valara said. She kind of kneels down, but she's definitely like in front of Elliot.
Aw. All right.
wow,
Fair enough. I know, Burns,
Well,
sweet Burns.
we have two horses
You
and
could put
3 people who aren't doing great.
well, so I can't say anything. I'm a horse.
Because we got Poison Boy, and then we've got Elliot, who's looking a little cold and wet, and then we've got Sir Cadillac over here.
I can ride back, all right? I got the spinning rims. I'm fine.
all right.
But still, there's 3 people, 2 horses.
By the way, I just want to clarify for you guys. Corey can hear everything in real time just fine. It's just her incoming audio that is apparently on some kind of weird time delay. So you can ask questions, and what I'll do is I'll translate from her typing.
Okay. Elliot, are you well enough to walk, or do you need assistance getting back?
Moorabrook snorts at you.
I don't think so. If I can climb onto Mororook again, I think I'll make it.
Okay.
Might need some help.
Well, Sir Auric, do you think you can continue walking, or are you...
I can walk.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay. Then,
Moorabrook snorts again and like shakes her head at Auric and like gestures to her back.
Oh, carry both of them.
She snorts and nods.
No, not if it's gonna make you tired.
She huffs at you. Like,
I just kind of.
that puff of hot air at you.
All right, fine. I'll get on.
All right. Mororook, are you kneeling down? All right.
I'm giving an assist.
Okay, since you're giving an assist, Elliot and Sir Auric, you can make these as straight checks without your disadvantage from exhaustion.
Straight checks of what? What am I rolling?
This is animal handling to mount up, since there's no saddle or anything.
Since you're riding bareback.
God damn it.
All 3 of them.
Jesus.
Thankfully, the DC was only 5 because the horse is kneeling. Sir Auric, you do manage to climb up with perhaps less grace than you intended. Elliot,
Like always.
You managed just fine.
Elliot is really good at horse riding.
Apparently. Especially bareback.
God damn it.
Zing. Valara, the other horse looks a little skittish and trudges toward its rider and noses him on the ground, sort of trying to nuzzle him awake.
Yeah, Auric, maybe you shouldn't have gotten on the horse quite yet. Have you seen these noodle arms? We still gotta get Poison Boy up onto that horse.
I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah.
try to horse talk to it again.
Okay. Make an animal
Okay.
handling check with advantage.
Okay. What I basically want to do is get him to kneel down so that his person can be put on his back.
Okay.
And with Valara so that she can keep him steady on there. I don't know how much of that I can actually get to the horse, but I'm gonna try.
Let's try one concept at a time.
Fuck yes.
Dang, dude.
The
You are on a roll
You're
tonight,
a
man.
horse!
Jesus.
I'm good at being a horse.
You found your zone. I mean, that is what you are right there,
Just
man.
be a horse.
Yeah.
She found her horse destiny.
Hashtag I'm a
Good.
horse.
Horse.
So can we appreciate
As you take
what
a
she
moment-
dropped?
Yeah, I know. I was just gonna glaze right past that.
Oh no.
So, Morrook, with a little bit of snorting and stamping, you mime to the horse what it needs to do. The horse seems confused for a moment and then follows your lead, kneeling down as it understands what it is it needs to do. The horse settles down on all fours, more than simply kneeling, actually sitting on the ground. And unfortunately, Corey has just crashed. VC. That's too bad. Hopefully we'll have Corey back in just a moment so that Elliot can continue to participate. Valara, you now have a horse on the ground next to you, kneeling on all fours, as though to sit in a barn. The horse does not feel especially comfortable, as you can tell, and appears to be not enjoying sitting down in the mud, but...
Well, then I will get to attempting to assist Poison Boy up onto the horse.
Okay.
And I'm going to pretend that I'm really graceful with this, and I'm being very gentle, and it's, you know, going to be delicate.
Now remember, you do
and
have advantage in addition to the inspiration die.
I'm also an elf librarian.
I'm just saying, if you want to try it, now's the time.
Okay. Well,
So-
I said I had advantage, so...
Yeah, you can spend your advantage, and you can spend a one of the channels D4 inspiration, or you can spend a D8 inspiration with the D4 inspiration because you told a great dog story earlier.
I'm gonna use my dog story one. So let's see, where's...
Okay. Now
How do
remember,
I-
you're rolling this with advantage, and then you're adding a
Yeah.
D8.
Do I, you know what, I'm gonna save my dog story one. I don't think I'm gonna be that bad. Which
Okay,
I've not cursed
well-
it, but,
Roll
Okay.
roll a strength check with advantage,
okay.
because the horse is kneeling.
Ah, yes, my -1.
Ouch.
I
And-
should have.
And that D4 of inspiration? Or not, as you choose.
Yeah. Oh,
Wow, okay, 12.
yay!
With
I was
little
inspired.
with little to no trouble, you do manage to place the man on the back of the horse. As you do so, because, and I'm going to treat this as part of your natural 20 perception check, because you were looking around, you do see that the horse has two very heavy-looking saddlebags on either side of the horse as you're loading the man up and slinging him across the back of the horse.
So these two very heavy saddlebags, I'm going to like edge near them, to see how skittish the horse is about having me approach them.
Okay. The horse is as comfortable with you as it can be, and it doesn't seem to shy away from you at all. The horse appears to be
Okay.
waiting for you to climb on board as well.
Oh, okay, cool. Well then I'm gonna climb on.
Morok is gonna whinny at you.
I don't speak horse or rook.
She seems kind of concerned. She's like looking at the saddlebags.
Well, yeah, that's why I was kind of just looking at them. But I want to be on the horse before I start digging at them, in case it tries to run off. But that's meta. That's out of character. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get on the horse.
make an
Morak
animal
seems
handling check
concerned.
with advantage.
Uh, uh, praying to the animal handling gods.
Yeah, that natural 20 for Morrick is really saving you guys bacon right now.
That's not terrible.
That's pretty good. You managed to
Yeah.
climb on with no trouble. The horse
Yay.
allows you to get situated, and you are actually much more comfortable than you would otherwise be because there is a saddle, stirrups. The stirrups are a tiny bit longer than you would like, as the person was a slight bit taller than you, but the reins are easy enough to hold on to, and the horse appears not to mind you uh, riding him. The horse taking its cue from Moraruk, who seems to be giving the directions here, stands up under its own power, and all of you are mounted, along with the man you rescued, um, and able to move out now.
Okay, I'm gonna start heading back to camp along the way we came.
Okay. It's going to take you
That
guys
doesn't-
about an hour to get there. Over the course of that, I'm going to need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, and also while we're riding, I'm going to be casually sticking my hand in them saddlebags.
Can I perceive that? I want to. She's not ready to stick her hand in the saddlebag and whinny at her as she tries to do it.
Wow.
Damn it, Valara!
No, to like investigate what the hell's in there, not to steal anything.
I know. Meta knowledge that you don't have, but then Morak does, is that the poison was physically transmitted.
Again, a hole
Ah,
opens up underneath
if you see my
Moraruk's
character,
hooves,
you'll
and
notice
she
I wear
is
gloves.
swallowed by the meta hole.
No, that's why I'm saying I'm not suspecting her of stealing. And I
Okay.
did preface it with that's meta knowledge that my character has, but her character doesn't. That's why I want to whinny at her. Like, I want to perceive this and whinny.
Now,
But
Elliot,
I'm also wearing gloves. so I'm
Elliot
okay.
and Sir Arik, I do want to clarify, you guys are rolling that with disadvantage because of your exhaustion level. So roll a second Constitution save, each Elliot and Arik.
Wow, you guys are.
Dude,
really
we are like twins today. What is up with that?
Twinsies! Look at
Same
that.
roll, both times.
Twinning.
Love it. Yeah.
Unfortunately for both of you, you do take a second level of exhaustion because of the
It's okay,
failed
we're almost
roll.
home.
I'm
But-
so tired.
With that second level of exhaustion, you do make it, since you're on horseback, to the camp.
So what did my investigations in these saddlebags before we get back to
Valara?
camp?
As
So
you're
determined.
as
I'm
you're
going to these
on your
saddlebags.
way to the camp, Valara, make a perception check as you, or make an investigation check on the saddlebags as you're riding.
I feel like I'd be percepting while I'm digging around in there. Like,
No,
I feel
this
like
is
that's
this is digging
perception.
around. This is investigating.
Damn it.
Yes,
Loud
Corey,
whinnying.
if you'd like to test yourself.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh my god!
Yay!
Let's see how
Okay,
long this
now-
lasts.
Now
Yeah.
I want to use my dog story. My dog story D8. Or, yeah.
Okay. Roll your investigation check plus the D8.
Loud whinnying.
Okay.
Oh, I'm hoping this. Yeah, okay, that's the 8.
17.
Yeah. I'm
All right.
percepting.
I take away your inspiration die.
Oh,
Um,
it was worth it.
All right. As you're searching through the saddlebags, you come across a number of things. A small jewelry box. It's locked. You come across a number of packed and dried herbs and different foodstuffs. You also come across some dried goods that appear to be also dried foodstuffs to provide trail rationing. In the other bag, you come across a number of other small objects as well that are trade goods. There is a rolled up bit of. It seems to be worm-ridden silk, and the
Yeah.
silk appears to be devalued somewhat by this. It looks as though it hasn't been opened or checked very frequently. I'm also going to need you to make a Constitution saving
I'm
throw,
wearing
Valara.
gloves. I am wearing gloves. Thank you very much.
I
You've
have
seen
also
my
been
character art. I
panicked
wear
whinnying
gloves.
this whole time.
Okay, okay.
It's
Since
it's not like I opened the silk thing, which I'm guessing is what's poisonous, but like I'm not like really digging into stuff. I'm just kind of taking a casual look to see if anything's obviously.
Okay.
Not
okay.
licking it.
In that case, you avoid making a Constitution saving throw as you're searching through one of the bags. You don't know which one might have affected you. That's
More-
meta now.
Nips at your hand as you're digging through.
Moruk, make an attack roll as a
I don't want to
horse.
attack. I want to nip.
Oh god, I'm gonna lose a hand.
Yeah, you're done. You're done
Well,
at
no,
that.
she's gonna
20.
get poisoned because there's poison on my gloves, clearly.
I'm not nipping at you to bite.
But you're making an
Yeah,
attack
but at the
roll.
rate that you're rolling tonight, you're gonna go for a nip, and we're all gonna die.
It could
No,
happen.
dice roll should determine how good you are at achieving what you want to achieve. And what I want to achieve is scaring her, not actually biting her. Actually biting her would be if I rolled a 1.
We're all doomed.
Okay, if you're just trying to scare, this is an intimidation check and not an attack roll.
Okay.
Valara, there are some flashing and snapping horse teeth right next to your gloved hand.
No carrots for you, Horserook.
She huffs at you.
All right. You guys make it back to camp with no further incidents, although Sir Arik and Elliot are looking quite the bit the worse for wear. The young man that you are, well, the man of indeterminate age that you are carrying also looks quite bad off.
Okay, so let's go ahead and take Poison Boy to wherever our makeshift, like, hospital caravan cart is.
Our little wagon that we've set up with Jarell and Guard
Yeah.
Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
So
will
let's.
follow you over there, and once we're there, I will kneel down. Well, I'll get down all the way onto the ground so that they can easily climb off of my back.
Now we might as well make it graceful. Let's go ahead and just have me drop on my head on the way off this time, just to kind of seal the deal, you know?
Say again, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna roll right off.
I get down on all fours.
Okay.
I get down on all fours, like kneeling all the way down onto the ground
he
so that
still
they can get
rolls.
off easily.
all
Yeah.
And he still rolls. Let's be real.
Let's be real here, you know?
He's
I'm
tired.
going to say since you take the time to kneel down first, he doesn't have to make a dexterity saving throw. So,
How are
as you
we sitting on the horse?
say again.
How are we sitting on the horse? We were both on Morwick, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
One of you was riding behind the other.
Yeah.
I just grabbed Elliot's hands and I'm like, let's go!
Yeah.
Just roll right off.
Oh wow.
That's what I was waiting for.
Elliot. Oh man.
Welcome to the team!
Exactly.
Elliot, for the second time, you go crashing into the mud.
I turn back.
I just lay there and I'm just like, this is where I live
I
now.
turn back into Morrook and rush
Where I
over
live
to
now.
help Elliot up off the ground.
I'm not saying I ship Morrick and Elliot, but
Oh, you were right. Oh,
Uh,
you should be more careful.
yeah.
Arik, you also are spattered and covered in mud all through your
Like,
armor.
yeah, we are just fine. Thanks.
This is great.
You're shivering. Let me help you over to the fire.
Okay, yeah. God,
I'll be
really
fine.
well.
Don't worry about it. I'll get up right now.
I help Elliot over to the fire.
All right. As you move over to the fire between the two of you, you can see Sebastian is leaning just inside the wagon, and he appears to have built up the fire quite a bit, as much as he can, given the rain. He has also erected a kind of tarp, using a couple of 10-foot poles, over the fire to protect it from the rain as best he can. And the smoke appears to plume a little bit underneath the tarp and then bleed out the sides.
Okay. I'll help Elliot over to there, and then I'm gonna go back over to where Valara is with Poison Boy.
His name now.
And I say, Valara, you have to be careful. The poison that we found, we were tracking it. It led us to this man and this horse, but it's physically transmitted. It's not been put into anyone's food. I found a vial and it was covered in this stuff. I managed to resist
Thankfully,
it.
I wear gloves.
Just be careful when we're going through there, when we try to find out where it is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure I know what our most likely culprit for the poison is, because I found some stank silk in there that has like worms and business. And then after that, I stopped touching it because I had a bad feeling.
That's good. Poison worm sounds viable, I suppose. Is that something I've heard of? Can I roll a nature check?
You can certainly try. You can examinate. Examinate. You can.
Examinate.
Yeah,
Examinate.
it's just that time of day, I guess.
It's stupid
You
clock.
can go through and examine the silks if you like.
Just wear some gloves.
Okay.
Please.
I'm gonna use a stick.
That works. Poke with a stick.
I use a stick to like kind of get the flap up and then poke it under the silk and like lift it up.
As you open the satchel, you can tell that there is a lot of bundled silk in here, just tons of it. This is a very large satchel and saddlebag that is filled to the brim with bolts upon bolts of what looks to have been expensive-looking silks. However, you do see worms infesting the silk as you check through it.
How about I just go ahead and do another detect poison spell?
As you wish.
Just for fun's sake.
Yeah, that seems like a good idea. Well, I'll go ahead and I'll look at it. I'll do a nature check first to see if this looks like it could be the culprit.
Okay.
And then
Also, can I get off the horse, please?
Yes.
I'll help you
Thank
down.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm not going to
How tall is?
make a check for that.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I am going to make you make a check for that.
How
The-
many far away?
Valara is
What?
very small, but
I'm gonna reach up.
she's
and
up on a horse right now, so
take her off.
go ahead and make a strength check.
Are you lifting me, or is that for me strength check?
That's for Morrook, who is apparently just bodily taking you out of the horse.
Awesome. Carefully.
Valara, you are much in the manner of a romance novel damsel lifted off the horse and carried
That
down
is the exact thought I'm having.
in the strong,
Yeah,
mighty
like,
arms of
Snorting a little
Morrook the
bit, just
druid.
like, oh wow. Oh my.
I
Love
know you
it.
said that you might
Just
ship
like in the novel.
Elliot Morrook, but like, have you considered shipping Valara Morrook?
Valoruk.
You know, I can get behind this. Do I have any like apples or something for a set horse? Because that is a go horse. Let me check my inventory.
I have some dried fruits and stuff in my satchel.
I got a little ration. I want to make a horse friend, so I got some rations. So I'll pull out like whatever the Laura bar equivalent in D&D is and give it some.
While you're all doing this, some of the guards come by and Sebastian waves them off, talking to them quietly and saying all's well for the time being. Sebastian then comes over and starts checking on. Oh, hello. Hello,
Kitty.
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 Sebastian comes over
Oh.
and checks on Elliot. Elliot, welcome back. You look terrible. Are you okay?
I've been better, but yeah, I think I just need to lie down.
You need more than that. I mean, look at you. Yeah.
Damn.
Why don't you hop into the wagon and I'll close the wagon up so you have some privacy while you change clothes or try to dry off or something.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a good idea. So I'll go do that. I think I have some traveler's clothes in my bag.
Yeah. Sebastian closes up the back of the wagon and leans against the back of it and keeps an eye out. Your friends are fine for the most part. They don't seem to be getting any worse. What's with this fellow? I recognize him. He's one of the. He looks like one of the merchants I saw earlier.
We traced the poison trail back to him.
To him?
Yes.
This guy, really?
Well, he seems to have been affected by the poison as well, so.
Oh, that's terrible.
what
Not
do
a
we
very
do
good
with that?
poisoner if he got his own, though.
What do I know with that nature check?
With the nature check, you pick over it and you notice these are silkworms.
Okay. Silkworms aren't known for being poisonous.
They are, in fact, not. They do, however, appear to be eating through a lot of the finely crafted silk, and apparently it was not so finely crafted that it was immune to having these larvae in it, which
Yeah,
are now
I'm just-
feeding upon the silk.
I'm just gonna do this again.
Within 30 feet of you, the only poison you're detecting is in one of the saddlebags. It's in the other saddlebag.
Okay. I'm gonna
You
flip the
also
lid.
detect the poison in the young man, and Sebastian leans down on the ground. All right. Hey, Mr. Werther. And he slaps the side of his face a little bit. I don't know if he's coming around or not. Nope, he dropped a 20 and rolled an 8. He's not waking up.
He's dead?
No, he's just unconscious at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Werther seems like if he's poisoned, he's definitely still under. I'll see what I can do to find some additional medical supplies. Things aren't getting much better, but they're not getting any worse. I've been taking reports regularly from the other guards as they move through on patrol. So far, no one else has gotten sick, but we are missing someone. One of the wagons, after you left, pulled out and decided they were breaking away from the caravan. We couldn't do anything to stop them. They went ahead and took off without us, and we didn't want to leave the rest of the caravan undefended, so we had to wait here.
Well, there's definitely poison here, but it's not in the silk, Valara. I'm gonna flip the lid on the other one, on the other saddlebag with the stick, using
Okay.
the stick.
Make
and then
a
I look
perception
over.
check with advantage since you have the spell up and running.
Okay.
Can I also percept because I'm watching her with said stick?
Oh, I didn't do that with advantage. I'll just roll it again. I liked my first roll.
Okay, we're going to keep the first roll. As you're going through this, Valara, you see Morrook go for and very gently lift with a stick a small jug, which smells as though it includes a strong ale.
So it was in the ale?
The poison appears to be radiating, based on your magical perception, from the ale, or at least from the lid around the rim, so that whomever took a drink from this particular jug would be poisoned. It also seems to be on the handle as well.
So basically all we found is something else that was laced with poison and not the source of the poison?
It's possible. You don't know.
I look over my shoulder at Sebastian. Can you get the caravan leader?
I'm afraid he's unconscious as well. He's recovering from the poison, although we did find some more of those herbs that Elliot recommended, and that you were able to find. We've been doing our best to mix up some additional cures and hoping that the antitoxins will do what they need to do. Hopefully they'll be awake by morning, but I can try to wake him up tonight.
Who's next in the chain of command?
Well, at the moment, I believe Sir Arik here was taking charge, but for the moment, that's, I guess, me, I'm sorry to say.
Well, as far as I can tell, this is where the poison's coming from.
I can hardly believe it. This guy didn't seem like he had any kind of spine for that sort of work, but...
Well, I don't know that he did. It's entirely possible this was laced as well, and that this is all just a waste of time.
Sir Arik, you vouch for this woman's veracity, her opinion?
I don't know if he is the person who poisoned everyone. I just said this could very well have been laced, just like everything else was laced.
Well, we have to check that, but that's why I'm asking. I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't know you. I've worked with Arik for at least part of the journey as a guard. I would like to get his opinion. I mean, no offense, of course. I didn't hear a word of that many.
I can vouch for
That's
her.
the feminist muttering.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you. And thank you, ma'am. I do appreciate your expertise in this matter. And as the next ranking guard here vouches for what you say, I hate to think it of this fellow, but we'll put him in irons in one of the guard wagons and keep an eye on him for the night and hope that he pulls through. Maybe he can answer some questions, and if he doesn't know anything about it when he wakes, if he wakes, then I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but we'll see. Well, come on, fellow. And Sebastian leans down and sort of grunts. All right. And he looks over at Arik and the rest of you. I guess I'll walk him over to one of the guard wagons and we'll put him in there with the rest for the time being. That way we can keep an eye on him specific. I expect it's just the same kind of poison as far as we know.
As far as we can tell, yes.
Alright. I'll have the other guardsman who knows some healing know about that, and we'll go from there. In the meantime, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the morning.
Rook huffs, sighs, walks over to the fire, sits down next to it, and stares at it angrily.
Sebastian knocks on the edge of the wagon. Elliot, I'm headed to the other wagon to sleep.
I think we have delay again.
Oh no, again? The video's a little laggy, but the audio's not coming through. Type.
Type like the wind.
Hey, it lasted longer this time, though.
Yeah, it's true, it's true. Yeah, Corey's saying in chat, she can hear us perfectly fine. That's frustrating. Alright. Okay. Elliot calls out, "Okay," from the inside of the wagon, and apparently is finished changing clothes, pokes his head out, and waves. Sebastian walks back in the rain, and you can see about 5 wagons down in the wagon train that he meets with one of the other guards, and they load the man, Nairite Verther, into the back of the wagon.
I think you mean Poison Boy. I believe that's his official name.
It's true. His official name is Poison Boy.
He has a new nickname, apparently. Elliot emerges at least to the edge of the wagon and sits by the fire with Reaper, now dry and looking much fluffier, purring like a little steamboat engine.
Oh no.
So, Moraruk is huffy, Sir Arik is exhausted and muddy, Elliot is a little cleaner, Valara is wet, but
Bonding with a
otherwise
horse?
fine. And there is a horse who is standing there
Horse friend.
looking quite concerned.
It's okay, horse friend. You can hang out with us.
Yeah. The horse edges closer to the fire and tries to stand under the tarp a little bit without getting too close to the fire.
Can I go find like a blanket for our horse friend?
Yes, you can. Make an investigation check.
1 second, guys.
Sure, man. You find several very thick horse blankets,
Cool.
and you also find a brush.
Yeah, I'm gonna brush him like a Barbie pony.
Oh my god.
God.
That was not in character. That was just me. Like,
Make an animal handling check.
oh god. Um,
Rook is a druid and she can help you if you get in.
oh,
All right. Do
I'm
you
gentle. I'm just not
make
great
it
at this.
make it with advantage if Moraruk is helping you.
Oh, I don't know if she's asked for more Rook's help.
I
was
mean,
just-
you just offered. I thought that was happening.
And besides, Mora could be there, and if I was doing it wrong, she'd be like, "Oh my god, are you really for real?"
Yeah.
Just like that.
Moraruk, you see what's happening, and you kind of come over and say, no, like this.
No, I'm sitting huffily by the fire.
Oh, you're just gonna watch?
Yeah, I watch huffily from the fire. She would have to ask Rook for help.
Okay. I apologize for misunderstanding what
Okay.
you said then.
No, it was just a reminder to her
no,
that she could
Valara,
ask.
you as you try, the horse is not as comforted as you hope, but at least it eventually does. After quite some time, the horse settles into your combing and brushing and seems to calm down. It takes about an hour before the horse begins to be calmer, especially helped by the blankets.
Yeah. Morok's not the only one to make animal friends.
The horse is now friendly with you.
Yay!
You have gained friendly rep with the horse.
Yay! Good horse friend.
All right.
Okay, well once that's taken care of, I'm gonna go to bed.
All right.
We've had a night.
You hobble the horse and extend a little bit of the wagon out over the horse so that it covers the horse, and the horse just kind of stands there and gets ready to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Valari, you retire to the inside and get ready for sleep. Morrook, do you do anything?
I'm gonna glare at the fire until everyone else goes to bed.
Everyone else but Sir Arik seems to have gone to bed. I'm going to assume Sir Arik has passed out too, with a horse blanket around him in his armor, sitting next to the fire.
Okay, I thought Elliot was out. Sorry.
Oh, Elliot's still out. Elliot is holding his finger up, waiting for us to tell us to wait while she types. Elliot sits down next to Moraruk and says, "I'm sorry we didn't find out more." He pats you very gently on the shoulder, very awkwardly attempting to comfort you, and then gets ready to stand up and walk over to the wagon.
Rook looks surprised, but not like in a bad way.
Okay.
No, I'm actually frustrated with myself. I wanted to fix things, and now I've possibly gotten an innocent man put in irons, and I got you sick, and I got Sir Arik sick as well, and well, I don't know that I really accomplished anything for all of that. Not very good at helping people yet.
Elliot says, "I think everyone wanted to find something, but it will be fine. At least you tried. Just need some sleep."
Right. Sleep.
We'll come back to it tomorrow, all right?
Right. I'll see you in the morning.
Elliot nods and gives you sort of a awkward but comforting smile, and Elliot makes his way back into the back of the wagon. Sir Auric, as all of this is going on, you're kind of drowsing, covered in a horse blanket, sitting in your mud spattered armor, and sitting in front of the
Horse.
fire as you warm up and dry out from all of the rain with this tarp set about 10 feet over the fire. And it's keeping you from getting worse wet, while at the same time some of the smoke occasionally billows back into your face. But you do you are warmer. You are the mud is beginning to cake on a little bit, so it'll be easier to scrape off later. And you are, you know, uncomfortable and definitely exhausted.
Well, I think I'm just going to like try to get up and then just lay back down.
Okay.
Sorry, Auric. Didn't mean to get you sick.
That's all right.
Um, can I don't know if this would actually do anything, but you tell me if she knows if it would work or not. But can I make some good berries? Would that help?
You can certainly make good berries. What are you trying to do when you say help?
Like help Auric with his like exhaustion and stuff. I don't know if they would help with that or
Um, it'll certainly make him feel better. It won't cure his exhaustion, but it will. Think of it as you've just created limbus bread, but it actually tastes good, and it will completely sustain him a full for a full day. 24 hours of like, wow, I feel full and sustained and good.
not. Oh, so she creates some in her hand. She just like kind of does this like she's pulling something out of thin air and then offers her hand to you, and there are some little berries in it.
In her palm, Sir Auric, you see 10 berries that appear to have just blossomed from the air. Um, they look delicious, appetizing.
I grab a few from her hand and I'm just like, thank you, my dear, and eat them.
Um, okay. How many of them do you eat?
I eat 3 of them.
Okay. After you finish the first one, and it is succulent and delicious, you no longer feel any hunger at all. You feel warm and sated, at least. And in your exhaustion, that's all you really needed to feel comfortable enough to settle in. The aches and pains become less. And while you don't lose your ranks of exhaustion, you do feel more comfortable and as though you could actually get some rest now. As you eat each of the others, it's like eating comfort food.
Nice.
Should have thought of that while Elliot was out here.
Well, you do have 7 more in your hand.
Yeah, but Elliot's gone to bed.
Go knock on their door.
Knock on their door, man.
My God.
Okay.
Well, that was out loud. What Moraruk said. I should have thought of that while Elliot was out here. So if you want to say that in character, you can.
Don't be stupid. Go, give her the fruit.
You sound a bit drunk right now, to be honest.
I'm as clean as a whistle.
Right. Okay.
That's the exhaustion slurring into his voice.
The exhaustion, all the romance novels.
Yes,
The gruff, raspy voice of a romance hero.
exactly.
Yeah.
Let me say that again, but this time with my shirt open.
Yeah.
The
Manfully to
horse
the waist.
blanket casually, like draped over you, just like, oh.
Yes.
Yeah. Covered, spattered in mud. Got a very Aragorn kind of look. Um,
Okay. Well, I will lightly knock on the wagon.
All right.
if anyone is still awake.
The wagon tarp is not nailed down, and it's Valara and Elliot. You both have an easy time hearing this if you wish to.
Wait, are we sharing it?
The
Yeah.
good berries will basically just make you feel better.
Well, no, I meant me and Elliot sharing a.
Yeah, y'all are all in the same
oh.
wagon because that's where you've been traveling
Okay.
together.
Yeah.
Well, I'm exhausted, so I have retired to bed. So I'm just gonna be like nothing. Like I'm not even gonna get up to go and answer
Valara
that.
is, as far as anyone can tell, completely unconscious.
No, I'm not unconscious. No. I think you misunderstand. I'm antisocial.
Oh, okay.
She
I'm
is
listening in.
unconscious, is what it is.
Yeah,
Socially
yeah.
unconscious.
There's kind of
But
a
I'm also like, because I overheard with Aura, like maybe she's coming to give Elliot, and I ship it. So I'm like, okay, I'll let Elliot answer.
all right. As far as anyone can tell, unless you'd like to make a perception check. Yeah, Valara appears to be asleep. However, does the tarp open on Elliot's behalf? Reaper. Oh, excuse me. Reaper pokes his head out of the tarp and purrs, followed by Elliot.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you. I just had I made some berries and they'll just you can have it'll make you feel better. I mean, it won't make everything feel, but and Reaper can have one too. It'll make him feel better, and warm and dry and full.
Oh, that's all right. Thank you. Yes, that sounds great.
She just holds her hand out with the berries in it.
Okay.
Psst, Valara. Psst. Valara,
Shut up, Mark. Let it happen.
it's just like the box. It's the same thing.
There's like this chibi meta conversation happening off in the corner. All right. Elliot reaches out and takes 3, and as he does so, Reaper sort of reaches out and nips very very gently into Morrook's hand, and picks up one of the berries and settles down at the edge of the wagon, and proceeds to lick and nibble at the good berry. Reaper's into it.
I withdraw and go back to kind of lay down by the fire and go to sleep. She'll eat one good berry before she goes to sleep.
Okay. You each of you who eats the good berries feel a very similar effect. It seems to suffuse you with a kind of warmth and a fulfillment that sates your hunger, and while it doesn't cure your thirst, it is juicy enough that it seems to sustain you for at least for the time being. You you feel a little warmer, a little more comfortable, and as though some of your cares have eased. And each of the additional ones you eat, um, while normally a good berry restores 1 hit point, since none of you are missing any hit points, um, it doesn't grant you any bonus hit points, but it does sustain you against losing further exhaustion points from not eating throughout the journey, at least for 24 hours. As you go to sleep, the night passes swiftly. Nothing in particular disturbs your thoughts, particularly those of you who have exhaustion levels. Those of you who have the exhaustion levels, you gain one of them back as you get a full night's sleep in. You awaken to only 1 point of exhaustion, which means that you are still making your skill and ability checks at disadvantage, but you're not losing any ground either. You don't feel worse. And for those of you who ate the good berries, all of you but Valara, you don't wake up hungry. You feel ready to face the day.
It's okay, I've got snacks. Non-poison snacks. I mean, it was worth it. It was worth it to try and get those two kids together.
I'm gonna see if is Sebastian back yet?
Sebastian has not returned as you wake up and go do your morning routine.
My first priority is to make sure that I didn't get some innocent person put into irons because I suspected him of poisoning people.
Okay.
So I want to go find Sebastian and the merchant, Poison Boy,
Okay.
Poison boy.
and see if he has woken up and if anyone has started asking him questions.
Okay. As you get up and head over to the guard's wagon, you hear quiet voices as people prepare food. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about that, Corey. Apparently, she's having some issues with the mobile app, so that apparently is an issue.
It just dies all the time.
Well, at least it works temporarily while you're doing when you bring it back up after a crash. So as Moraruk makes her way over, do any of the rest of you join Moraruk as you wake up and go about your morning?
I'll join her.
All right. Valara wanders alongside Moraruk. As you walk over to the wagon, you can see Sebastian and several of the other guards are sitting at breakfast. They each seem to be carefully checking and preparing their food individually, trying to be certain that nothing has been tampered with. A lot of their food seems to be recently gathered dried things and vegetables that they've picked fresh and are frying or cooking over an open fire or on little cook pans. Good morning.
Morning. I was hoping to see if anyone had had a chance to talk to the merchant.
I'm sorry to say he hasn't woken just yet, but we were about to finish breakfast and then head in to see if we could wake him and talk to him. He did take some food in the night. We were able to at least rouse him enough for that, so he's had some water and he's had a little bit of broth. Can't speak for much else. Did you find anything in his belongings?
I haven't looked further.
Oh, it's a cat.
Kitty.
Sorry.
Kitty.
Oh, it's a cute cat. Oh, shit.
This is the quality content people come to the Dungeon Dwellers channel for.
True.
It is.
Manny, you're muted.
There's a cat.
Yes. I'm so glad you unmuted yourself for that.
Just for that. Thanks, buddy. Sebastian gestures to an empty log that has been rolled forward as a bench. Please join us. Some of the other guards slide over and try to make room for both of you. They glance up at you with interest. Apparently, Sebastian's told them a little bit about you as they look over at you with recognition.
No, we haven't searched through his belongings any further. What I found when I was searching for the poison yesterday is that it's on things. It's something physical that I don't know if it's a powder, an oil. I haven't been able to figure it out, but I didn't want to just go digging through the saddlebags for I didn't
That's
want
my job.
didn't want to risk touching anything that I shouldn't.
That's very smart of you. Well, perhaps I could be of help. I have some experience in matters like this. I spent some time as a guard in Waterdeep, and you'd be surprised how often you run across poison in such a place. Maybe I can take a look.
So,
But that
so
can wait, at least for the time being. Maybe we can wake this gentleman up. In the meantime, please help yourselves. We've gathered some of this food fresh, and we've been checking each of the bottles. I'm sorry to say I checked some of the ale. Several of these bottles have been tampered with. I don't know how people have gotten in and around this place quite so easily, but whoever did this was very, very clever at it and took advantage of, I suppose, our entire situation of distraction to further this. I'm guessing, based on the efficacy of the poison, it wasn't meant to kill as much as it was to slow us down.
if it was only meant to slow us down, then it's likely that we're sitting ducks and they're planning something else while we're cripples here.
Well, I'm curious about something else too. I can't find on any manifest the name of the folks who took their wagon and drove out of the caravan last night. Several different merchants went with that wagon, and they took some of their goods with them. Um, I don't know what's happened with that. I did recognize two of them who, there was a gnome named Perathan, I think, and he looks over at one of the other guards for confirmation. The guard nods and says, "Yeah, Radicea, Perathan. He was just traveling. I don't think he was a merchant. Um, he had been kind of gambling with some of the others earlier, and that's all we really know about him. Um, the other was another merchant who was hauling some very fragile porcelain things that he was trying to sell. I really don't know why he would have gone with them, especially if they were going to try to pull ahead in the mud and the night rain and everything. They appeared to be in quite a hurry. I didn't catch the names of the others though, but they did. One of them did look like the man I saw um, protecting that spilled package from the other day. You remember that one? And another of the guards pipes up, "Yeah, yeah, that was definitely him. I didn't see the faces of the others because it was too dark while they were packing up and moving as quick as they were, but they took off with two of their horses in the wagon before we could stop them, and we had to stay back to protect the rest of the caravan."
Well, that man, the one protecting his
Wares.
wares, that's who we originally thought was responsible for this. But
Sebastian's expression sharpens. "You think so?"
there was no trace of poison in his wagon except for this, and she produces the vial, which at this point she's kind of wiped off, has wrapped up in some cloth.
A dark-skinned human woman leans forward and looks at you curiously. "And how exactly did you come by all this?"
It was sitting outside his caravan, or like his cart.
"Make
just
a
noticed it there.
deception check, please."
Come on, charisma. Oh,
Uh-huh. Well, if you found it outside his cart, if it's part of his own gear, perhaps that would explain something. Maybe they
What?
wanted to... Maybe what they wanted to do was to keep people away who had seen what fell in. I do know that some of the guards who were helping to secure the area but had seen what was in those packages were the ones who fell ill. And the other guards began to look at each other with a growing degree of disquiet. Sebastian nods slowly.
But as far as I can tell, what's in the vial isn't poison. I think it's just alcohol.
Then
It's
what made you think it was poisoned?
well, it's got poison on the outside. That's what I'm trying to say. The poison isn't in a liquid form, so far as I can tell. It's maybe a powder, an oil, or something physical. When you touch it, it seeps in through your skin.
Sebastian reaches out a gloved hand. May I?
Sure, but be careful.
I'll do my best. He takes the vial very gravely from you and examines it, holds it up to the light. There's some kind of sticky substance on the outside of it, he says. Looks as though... Sana, and he gestures to the dark-skinned woman with the nearly shaven head. She looks over. Yeah, let me... Here. She reaches out with a gloved hand and takes it from him. And then she takes a match, just a small phosphorus-tipped stick, strikes it against her boot, and holds it up to the liquid, to the sticky substance on the outside of the vial. It ignites, and for just a moment, you see a brief blur of greenish flame tickling off the edge of the match. Oh my word.
What is it?
It's a paralyzing poison. It's supposed to give you fever, and it can kill you if you're in poor health, but otherwise it shouldn't have this efficacy. I wonder how many people might have ingested this. That might account for why we've had so many people go down, but it is potent and goes through the skin. It's rare that you see someone use this much of it. This stuff is expensive.
What is it? What's it made of? What's it called?
I don't remember the name, but it's made of a root you can only find in Amn. Wherever this came from, it was far south of here, but all that means is whoever purchased it got it in one of the trade cities and knew what they were doing. This is a very dangerous substance.
Well, I don't know if it's the person we caught who did it or the person who left.
Well, I suppose we can question him, can't we? And she stands up and walks over to the wagon. And as they pull back the wagon's tarp, that's where we're going to go ahead and call it for tonight, because it is 9:30 Eastern Time. So I don't want us to run any far past our time, but we will get back to this in 2 weeks' time, and I do thank you all for hanging with us through all the technical difficulties out there. Sorry about the issues. We will look into what is causing that. I think it might be a mobile app issue on the end of one of our compatriots. Corey says so sorry, but
No, don't worry about it. We'll get it
It
figured out.
happens.
yeah. And I believe you had also asked a question, Corey. I'm not certain what I'm reading here. The one guy's tent Morrowick went through, is he gone? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he is gone, and so is his wagon. As well as several other people who seem to have taken advantage of the offer to leave the caravan and move ahead, because they just wanted to get moving faster, according to what the guards have been saying. So that's the impression that folks get. Although that's meta knowledge for you, because Elliot wasn't present to hear these answers and ask these questions. In any case, thank you again, everybody, for sticking around. I'm very sorry to have had so many technical problems, but we'll see if we can get them licked before next episode, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks' time. Don't forget to join us Wednesday night, when Josh is going to be running Tales of the Sanguine Isles. Many more dangerous missions ahead there. And Sunday night, we will be running Big Damn Heroes, where a number of our spacefaring adventurers are in the midst of trying to stop a shuttle heist.
Ooh.
And we will see you next time.
Bye.